1380 KBMs, Vancouver, Portland.
Yes, that was Miss Dionne Warwick along with B.B. Winans with the single entitled I'm Going Up. Well, good morning, Vancouver and Portland. This is Angela, about 25 minutes to 12. As always, around this time, we've been having a really insightful discussion regarding the Rose Quarter I-5 construction deal that is going to be coming up. And this morning, we have a very special guest. Please tell me your name again, how to pronounce it. I'm sorry.
It's Tayo.
Tayo, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm really great. Give us the insight of what you think regarding this big project that's coming up, Rose Quarter and I-5.
I mean, I feel it's a very important chance for us to see some change in the community, especially with how that area has changed in the years. You know, I grew up in that neighborhood to see how it changed from the 90s to now.
Right.
And just see people that don't live there anymore now get a chance to come back and work and build some equity in that community. I just think it's a huge opportunity.
So do you think that are there people that were pushed out thanks to gentrification? I kind of like remember, it was here and that was sad and stuff like that. Do you think that with this project that there's going to be, starting next year, and even though they're coming back to working on construction, do you think a lot of them will come back, maybe start coming back, to the area?
I think if the word gets out to enough people and they hear about it, they would. I mean, I think everybody, especially in these times, is looking for a good opportunity work-wise. One with some longevity, one where you can build some skill that you can use for a long time. And I think if we get the word out enough, let people know there's opportunity here and that there's contractors involved who are intentional in making sure that those people get the right opportunity, I think they will come.
How do you think that we as a community, and even though I still say community, even though that they've been split up every which way, how can we go about and putting the word out there and encourage them to go after the jobs?
I think it's like radio stations like this and radio shows like this, and then also word of mouth. Like, I know a few people who tell a few people, and then also, like I said, just some social media and like other groups that are working throughout the community, just getting the word out to them. And I think meeting with certain still influential leaders in the community would help also.
Well, are we in the process, and even, like I said, for the past several months, we've been having this conversation. Is eventually, slowly but surely, is a word getting out where people are kind of like making inquiries about the jobs that need to be filled?
Yes, I know. I mean, personally, I know a person working with us is working really hard at this, and he's actually started already the process of getting people with jobs to lead up to this project so they can even have a little bit of experience going into this project.
And how are they encouraging people who may not have the skills, for some of the jobs and stuff like that? How are they going about, with encouraging or putting them in the right direction to get those skills for what they're looking, maybe for the jobs that they want to fill?
So, our current project that I'm working on, this person has brought in people to the project to come and talk to us and just see what the opportunities look like, what our office looks like, just because it would be a different experience, just so they can see people that look like them in management roles who also have their best intention in mind as we're going through our day-to-day work tasks. So just showing people that it can be different, I think, is also very encouraging. And even though the project won't be probably kicking up until next year, you think that with this process and what seems right now that is making a big difference to where people are kind of like really thinking what they're missing out on and what they should be getting back involved with to restore the Northeast? I definitely think so. I think, especially seeing so many people put so much effort out there, it encourages the people to get involved. Like, I mean, I've been seeing people I work with just working, like they're just working night and day, literally trying to make this come to fruition. And I think when you see people work like that, it encourages yourself to decide, hey, I'm going to get involved and take the steps to start helping out as well.
Well, what exactly, you're talking about yourself, whatever, for yourself, what are you doing, to get people involved and bringing them to the table?
So for me personally, I tell everybody I come across about this project, and just getting the word out, just like that, just starting with family members. I have family members who didn't even know about it. So, I mean, they've been doing the ODOT website, so we're just showing them, saying, hey, this is what's going on. People in our community need to know, and just spreading the word just like that. I mean, all you got to do is meet somebody, tell them about it, and it just slowly starts spreading the process.
Are the construction company, and I know one is, looking to be totally involved in stuff like that, are they holding weekly meetings or monthly meetings, whatever, to where they can educate people about what's going to be coming up, when the construction process starts opening, starts being put into action?
Yeah, so I know, there's the COAC that happens once a month where we talk about upcoming opportunities and just the diversity plan of what our plan is to move this project forward and making sure we achieve what we said we want to achieve on it. So I know there's that, and then as we get closer and start defining project scopes, there'll definitely be open houses where we can bring people in and have them start seeing what opportunities there are, stuff like that.
Well, what are some of the opportunities that people, whatever, what kind of jobs are they opening up, or the skills that they're looking for this particular project?
So, this project, we're looking for everything from contractors to individuals who want to get into it. So, labor, cement masons, operators, anything like that. What people don't know is actually that a lot of the unions are looking for bodies right now. They need people to join the halls and start getting trained just because there's so much construction work going on in the city right now. So, we know to fulfill this project, we got to add more numbers to those union halls to be able to fulfill the project. And then same thing with minority contractors and DD contractors. There's just not enough to meet demand. So there's plenty of opportunity for growth in that area if people want to branch out and try. And the beauty of the company I work for and this project is that we are willing to help teach and show them how to grow into becoming strong contractors.
Well, and if they're looking at doing that, and since you got the company that you work with is doing that, how can they get in contact or sign up for the different workshops that you guys may be having, to teach the skills?
I know that's going to be rolling out as soon as we get our diversity plan approved for the project. So I just tell people to stay tuned. I'm sure it'll roll out on ODOT's website, and then we'll be sending out flyers through other organizations like NAMAC and all the other minority contracting assistance programs.
Well, right now, when you're talking about, in the field of construction, is there a big group of minority contractors that are involved on a daily or even a yearly, monthly basis and stuff like that?
Are you talking in general or with this project specifically?
I'm talking in general.
In general, I would say there is a decent amount, but with the amount of work going on and the requirements you have for DD participation, I don't think there's enough to go around on a monthly to yearly basis for all jobs that are happening. So there's definitely room for more civil contractors like excavators, more concrete contractors, steel contractors, and everything, because there's just so much work right now.
How can minority contractors and stuff find a way, whatever, to become more involved on a daily basis or a monthly basis with the state of Oregon and in the Department of Transportation? What do they need to do?
Definitely getting involved. There's a lot of contractor support groups, like I said, that specifically help out these contractors. And getting involved with them is how you get insight how to gain those contracts with the government agencies like PBOT, ODOT, even TriMet. Like these contractor groups help bridge those conversations.
Okay. When big contracts like, let's say that the Department of Transportation, does for the state or even TriMet or anybody else, do they, advertise it to where they're looking for a bid? And if they do, where do they put the information at to where maybe it catch the eye of a minority contractor? How do they go about it?
So all of these agencies have procurement websites where they post all their upcoming projects. I don't know them off the top of my head, I'm sorry, but
that's okay.
I just know they have them. So when you can go to those procurement websites, if you look up ODOT procurement or PBOT procurement, they have these websites where you can go and see upcoming projects and what they're looking for specifically on that project, what type of contractors, what type of scope of work it is, and that's how you can start seeing upcoming work and start preparing yourself.
How can you encourage, let's say, young men and even young women who, let's say, becoming the age of 18, how can you encourage, and I know they're probably trying to decide, what can I do? How can you encourage them even to possibly look into the field of construction?
I mean, my first thing I would tell them is not to look at it as a second option, that construction is a viable first option, and understanding that there's so much opportunity and skill to be learned in this, and that you can make a good living wage without having to worry about going to college. Yes, you have to do an apprenticeship, which will be some schooling, but a lot of hands-on training, but you're getting paid the whole time while you're doing it.
And if they, are going to look, possibly looking to do that, do they contact, whatever the different contractors, or going on the webs, the Department of Transportation's website to find out who are the contractors, especially minority contractors, to where they can, look into for this type of training, or how can they go about?
So definitely, first thing you want to do is contact the unions themselves, like the laborers union, the cement masons union, the operators union. You want to go through them, and then you can get in the actual apprenticeship, and then from there, that's how you start getting in contact with the different contractors that are out there. I mean, sometimes too, what we do is if we meet people along the way who want to get into the apprenticeships for one of the unions, they will come through us, and then we will connect them with the right people, especially if we know we want to hire them.
Okay. How did you, for yourself personally, how did you get involved in construction, and how long have you been doing this?
So I'm 30 now. I got involved in construction at the age of 18. A family friend owned remodeling, like housing remodeling company, and she told me to come and start working for her. So I was working like 3 days out the week for her. Then he gave me an opportunity to work at a large civil contractor with an internship.
Wow.
And I did that for 4 or 5 years. And then honestly, I was ready to leave the construction field just from that experience. It wasn't ideal for me. And a good friend of mine had called me and said, hey, come interview with him. So I came over there. I met everybody. This was at Raimore. And I sat down with them for like probably 30 minutes, and I knew, okay, this is where I need to be at. And been there ever since. Now, this is 6 years later, so I've been in the construction field now for 12 years.
Wow, Wow. What is it about Raimore's compared to other constructions that has this kind of influence, over, people who are looking, to get into the construction company and the construction field?
I would say, when I started there, we were a smaller company from where we are now, and still, it just feels like family. Everybody cares about each other. Everybody's looking out for the other. I mean, the owner of the company knows probably the lowest person on the totem pole in the company. They interact. So it's definitely a family feel. Everybody's involved with each other. It's just a great environment to be in. Everybody's trying to teach. There's nobody trying to hold back information. I felt like when I was there, when I first started there, I was flooded with so much information and given so much opportunity. And that's another thing. Be guaranteed that you're going to get an opportunity.
Wow,
and it's up to you with what you do with it.
Wow. What would be, before we end up, what would be your advice to young people? Like I said, a lot of them have a hard time deciding what exactly they want to do, especially when they turn 18. So what would be your advice to them?
It's tough. I think, everybody's different. For me, I had to go through a lot of different experiences to figure out what I wanted to do. Like, I didn't even know construction was really what I wanted to do until I was like 3 years into working at Raimore.
Yeah.
And I had this one project. It was a park job. It made me just realize, like, serving the community was what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so I would tell people, like, I think you gotta live life, get some experiences, and just find what you love and go do it. It may take some time. It may not be, and I'll tell people not to think that there's a set path. Everybody's path is different. It takes more. Some people take more time. Some people take less time. But ultimately, you just got to find what you love to do and find what serves people, what helps people, and what makes you feel good on a day-to-day basis where you're going to work and it doesn't feel like you're going to work. You enjoy getting up
when you started out, or even young people who want to get started out, automatically did they get in when they start out? Are they trained, or did they have to, figure out? Are they given different options where they can decide which field they want to go to within construction?
So starting out, you got to pick. Are you talking in the field? If you're in the field, you got to pick a union.
Yeah.
I would honestly suggest people start out as a laborer, because as a laborer, you get to touch a lot of different styles of work, a lot of skill sets. So the laborers are like the jack of all trades. They do everything from checking grade, digging holes. They may do a little concrete. They may even be able to get in the machine a little bit, learn how to operate a little bit. So it gives you a feel of everything.
Right.
And then from there, you can decide to go jump to a different union once you decide what you want to do, or you can stay as a laborer. It's just up to you. But I definitely think starting out as a laborer is the best field, just to see everything.
Wow. It seems like now that you're happy and you found your place, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, this is definitely, I'm happy. I know this is what I want to be doing with the company that I want to be in.
Okay. I want to say thank you for giving the opportunity, and I hope to get a lot of young people out there who are trying to decide what they want to do for their future, that they're listening and this, to check it out. And I want to say thank you. I've been enjoying this conversation.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and hey, you enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And again, some more insight. You want to go into the field of construction. I'm glad I'm enjoying this conversation, but it's the information that is being disseminated out there for people to decide, especially the young people trying to make a decision about what you're going to do for the future. If you don't want to go to college, this is one field you may want to look into. Coming up, you're going to hear from Mr. Gerald Austin with his single entitled Irreplaceable. So keep it tuned here to 1480 KBMS.
1480 KBMS, Vancouver, Portland.